Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today what I want to show you guys is my propagation method using nothing but perlite. These are Coleus cuttings, all different types of Coleus, and they have been propagating in perlite, and I just want to show you how I've been doing it. What I do is I take my cups, like I've probably shown you in the past, and I cut a slit in one corner. You can see the slit there. And I do that with all the cups. I fill them with perlite. Then I stick my cuttings. And then I fill up the tray all the way up with just water. I don't need nutrient right now because they're just cuttings. And the perlite quickly wicks up the moisture and keeps the cuttings well hydrated. And all of the perlite stays moist, I guess you could say. And the cuttings do great. They do really, really great. And not only because the substrate, the perlite, stays damp and moist and has the hydration, but also because the tray has that, I guess, inch or so of water, and the evaporation keeps these cuttings well hydrated, like a very humid area around all the cuttings. In some cases, where I've had some bigger leaves on some of these cuttings, I would cut them in half. A lot of people do that. It kind of minimizes the moisture loss in the cutting, at least until they get their roots going. This one didn't really need it. It has some big leaves. This one I cut, but, oh no, actually I cut both of them down here. I thought that these were original leaves, but these were much smaller. They've been in here for a little while. So you can see I did the same thing here. Cut the leaf in half, kept the moisture in. These plants are doing very, very well. They'll probably be ready to either transplant or whatever I'm going to do with them very soon. Another thing I'm going to show you is these guys. These were 3 pink ruffle Coleuses, and I put them in nothing but perlite. And similar setup, except a larger cup and a different vessel for the reservoir. Did the same thing where I cut the bottom, a little slit in the bottom, but look at these roots. Look at that. The roots go crazy. You can see they love it. They just go every which way. One thing that I've noticed that's very interesting is that in other substrates, the roots tend to grow down towards or into the reservoir because they're looking for the moisture. I guess the rest of the substrate in the container doesn't really hold or wick as much moisture as perlite does. But as you can see with this, they evenly stretch out all around the cup because that perlite is evenly moist throughout because the wicking action is amazing. So this has been in here for a while. You can see from all those roots. But what I'm probably going to do is I could either leave them in here and start adding my nutrient because it's way beyond time for me to start feeding these plants. You can see the roots are so developed that it's time. I'm probably going to keep them in here. And I'll take you along for the ride because I've had plants in perlite for many years. And the only thing I would ever need to do is if they grow too big, I could just transplant them to another cup with a different reservoir with fresh perlite. But it's going to be a while before I need to do that. The good thing about this also is you could just take this out, run it under the sink to flush out the nutrient solution after it's been in there for a while, and then put it back in its vessel, and then top it off with some nutrient, fresh nutrient. I would put it, you could see kind of where I have the water line. I would put it probably about 1/4 to 1/3 way up in the vessel here, in the reservoir. So I wouldn't fill it all the way up. All you really need is like that much because perlite wicks amazingly well. So that's that. I just want to share that with you. Very easy. I definitely recommend perlite. It's really cheap. You can get it at big box stores for like $5, and it lasts you for a very long time. And you can reuse it too. If you're going to reuse it, one thing I do recommend is take your plants out and take the perlite and put it under some really hot water, clean it out, flush it out, let it rinse, and then you can reuse it, just in case there's anything left behind from the previous plants. But they do really well. Coleus in particular do extremely well, but I love experimenting with Coleus because they're so easy easy to propagate, easy to grow, and it gives me a good gauge on the ability of these substrates whenever I'm doing these experiments. So yeah, I'm very excited. Can't wait. So that's it. If you have any questions, obviously leave them in the comment section like people have been doing. I love talking plants. I always say that. If you haven't subscribed, maybe you should. We always do lots of fun videos here about experimentation with plants. And I love talking plants, so I can go on forever, but I won't bore you guys. Otherwise, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Share with your friends, all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next video.